When was the last time you thought about what makes a billionaire a billionaire? It's not just about the money, it's about the mindset, the habits, and the lessons they've learned along the way. Take Elon Musk, for example. He was once so broke he had to crash on friends' couches, yet he still managed to turn Tesla and SpaceX into massive successes. Now he's one of the richest people in the world. That's the kind of resilience we're talking about in today's video. We're diving into 10 powerful life lessons, drawn from different billionaire icons across tech, media, finance, and more. These people come from all walks of life, proving that success isn't tied to any one background or industry. Stick around to find out how they did it, and don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss what these heavy hitters have to say about achieving your dreams. First lesson is from Oprah Winfrey. Build a strong personal brand. You know her, you love her, but do you know how she became one of the most influential women on the planet? It's not just because of her incredible talk show or her acting gigs. It's because Oprah has mastered the art of building a strong personal brand. Here's the thing, Oprah wasn't born with a silver spoon. She came from humble beginnings, growing up in rural Mississippi with her grandmother. She faced challenges early on, from poverty to abuse, but she didn't let that define her. Oprah had a vision of who she wanted to be and what she wanted to do with her life. And she stuck to it, no matter what. When you think of Oprah, what comes to mind? Kindness, compassion, empowerment, that's her brand. And she's crafted it over decades by being authentic. She isn't afraid to talk about her own struggles or to give others a platform to share their stories. Oprah knows that authenticity is the key to connecting with people, and she's built her entire career on that foundation. Oprah's big break came when she took over a morning talk show in Chicago, but she didn't just stop there. She made it her own, creating a space where people could talk about real issues and feel heard. And that's a huge lesson right there. She made something unique by being herself. She didn't try to copy anyone else. She leaned into what made her different. Her success isn't just about being on TV. It's about creating an empire, magazines, movies, even her own network. But here's the secret. Everything Oprah touches has her signature on it. It's all about empowerment and positivity. That's why people are drawn to her. They know they're going to get something real. One of the coolest things about Oprah is how she uses her platform to uplift others. She's all about education and giving back. Remember when she gave away cars to her audience? That was wild. But it's more than just grand gestures. She set up scholarships, built schools, and created opportunities for so many people. So, if you want to take a page from Oprah's book, start by being true to yourself. Build a personal brand that reflects who you are and what you believe in. Don't be afraid to share your story, even the tough parts. And always look for ways to help others along the way. That's the Oprah way, and it's a path worth following. Let's move to the lesson by Mark Cuban. Embrace calculated risks. The guy from Shark Tank, who's always ready to dive into new business waters. Mark's all about taking risks, but not just any risks, calculated risks. Now, what does that mean? Well, imagine you're about to jump off a diving board. You don't just close your eyes and leap, right? You think about where you're going to land, how deep the water is, and if there are any sharks lurking below, hopefully not in Mark's case. Mark's journey to billionaire status wasn't a smooth ride. He faced some bumps and bruises along the way, like business failures and dealing with tough competition. But here's the thing. Every time he fell, he learned something new. That's the beauty of taking calculated risks. Even if things don't go as planned, you walk away with valuable lessons that can help you succeed in the long run. Now, Mark isn't just in it for himself. Nope. He's all about sharing the wealth of knowledge that is. He's not afraid to dish out advice and share his own experiences with others. Whether it's through his media appearances or mentorship programs, Mark's always ready to lend a helping hand to aspiring entrepreneurs. So, what's his secret sauce? Well, it's a mix of critical thinking, learning from both the good and the bad, and building strong relationships along the way. See, Mark knows that success isn't just about taking risks. It's about being smart about them. Picture this. You're out hiking in the wilderness. You see a path that looks a bit risky, but you also see the breathtaking view waiting for you at the end. So what do? You weigh the pros and cons, Maybe grab a walking stick for support and take that leap of faith. That's what Mark Cuban would do, calculated risk-taking at its finest. So if you're ever faced with a big decision, remember Mark's mantra: take the plunge, but make sure you've done your homework first. After all, life's too short to play it safe all the time. It's those calculated risks that often lead to the biggest rewards. Next lesson is from Sheryl Sandberg, advocate for yourself. You might know her from her role at Facebook, now Meta, but she's done so much more than that. Sheryl is a prime example of someone who stood up for herself in a world where women weren't always encouraged to speak out. One of the key life lessons from Sheryl is to never shy away from advocating for what you deserve. She has always been about making things happen. Early in her career, she learned that if you don't ask, you don't get. It's a simple concept, but it's amazing how many of us don't ask because we're worried about being seen as too pushy or demanding. She showed that it's okay to speak up about your value, whether that's in terms of your salary, your role, or even just getting credit for your work. But here's the thing, advocating for yourself isn't just about what you say, it's also about how you carry yourself. Sheryl Sandberg has this aura of confidence. She's someone who can walk into a room and own it without saying a word. A lot of it comes from believing in your skills and not being afraid to use them. So, if you're in a meeting, don't hesitate to share your ideas. If you're up for a promotion, make sure your boss knows why you're the best person for the job. Remember, you have a unique voice, and it's powerful when you use it. What makes Sheryl's story even more inspiring is her commitment to empowering others. She wrote the book Lean In, encouraging women to take on leadership roles and advocate for their place at the table. She's made it clear that advocating for yourself doesn't mean stepping on others. It's about lifting each other up. This concept ties back to the broader theme of 10 powerful life lessons from billionaire icons. How these lessons can be about personal growth, but also about creating a more inclusive and supportive environment for everyone. So what can you take from Sheryl Sandberg's journey? Don't be afraid to speak up for what you believe in. Advocate for yourself and your ideas, and while you're at it, encourage others to do the same. After all, the more we all advocate for each other, the stronger we'll be as a whole. And that's one of the most powerful life lessons we can learn from a billionaire icon. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more content like this, comment the word life lessons, so I know. Let's move to the next lesson from Richard Branson, embrace innovation. If you hear the name Richard Branson, you probably think of adventure, risk-taking, and, of course, Virgin. This guy built a brand that's not just successful, it's cool. Seriously, how many billionaires do you know who are famous for kite surfing and attempting to fly around the world in a balloon? But here's the thing. Branson's journey to building his Virgin empire wasn't a walk in the park. He didn't just wake up one morning with a dozen successful businesses. It all started with a record store in the 1970s called Virgin Records. Yeah, a record store. Talk about humble beginnings. The beauty of Branson's story is that he's always been a risk-taker. When everyone else was playing it safe, he was out there asking, why not? When he started his own record label, he wasn't afraid to sign up edgy and unconventional artists. In fact, he embraced it. He believed that to stand out, you have to be willing to do things differently. That's a big part of why his companies have this adventurous vibe. But it's not just about taking risks, it's about having fun along the way. Branson is all about creating a workplace where people enjoy what they're doing. He once said, clients do not come first. Employees come first. If you take care of your employees, they will take care of the clients. And he means it. You don't often hear billionaires saying stuff like that, right? Now about that whole embrace innovation thing. Branson's approach to business is to keep exploring new territories. His Virgin brand spans music, airlines, telecommunications, and even space travel. That's right, space travel. Virgin Galactic is his project to make space tourism a reality. Talk about aiming high. So if you're inspired by Richard Branson, here's what you need to do. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Try new things, even if they seem a bit risky. Find joy in your work and make sure the people you work with feel valued. And most importantly, keep looking for new opportunities. Branson's story teaches us that innovation isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life. All right, next lesson is from Warren Buffett, invest for the long term. When we talk about investing, one name that comes up a lot is Warren Buffett. He's not just one of the richest people in the world, he's like the wise old sage of the stock market. He's got this cool, calm, and collected vibe that makes you think, yeah, I should listen to this guy. So what can we learn from him? Let's break it down. Buffett's big thing is patience. He's all about the long game. While most people are busy trying to make a quick buck, he's like, why rush? Buffett's secret sauce is all about finding solid companies, investing in them, and then letting them do their thing over time. It's kind of like planting a tree. You don't see it grow overnight, but give it some years, and suddenly it's towering over everything else. But here's the thing, Buffett doesn't just pick any company. He's super picky. He wants companies with a strong foundation, a good team, and a product that people actually need. He's not into the hype, he's into value. And when he finds a company that ticks all those boxes, he's in it for the long haul. No jumping in and out of stocks because of the latest news headline or market rumors. He stays cool under pressure. Another thing Buffett does that's pretty unique is his focus on understanding what he's investing in. He's not just throwing darts at a board and hoping for the best. He reads a ton. We're talking about annual reports, financial statements, and even biographies. He wants to know everything about a company before he puts his money into it. It's like he's doing his homework before a big test. But instead of a test, it's millions of dollars on the line. So, what can we take from Buffett's approach? First off, don't get caught up in the latest stock market frenzy. It's tempting to chase the hot stock of the day, but Buffett's approach shows us that there's a lot more value in sticking with the companies you truly believe in. And second, do your research. Know what you're investing in and make sure it's something solid. Buffett's strategy has worked for him for decades, and it's a great reminder that sometimes the best results come when you slow down, think things through, and let your investments grow naturally. Let's move to the lesson from Elon Musk: set audacious goals. Elon Musk is the kind of guy who doesn't just dream big, he dreams huge. I'm talking about sending rockets to Mars and turning electric cars into the new normal. You know, the kind of stuff that makes the rest of us feel like maybe our goals need a little upgrade. Musk is one of those rare people who can turn what seems like a crazy idea into reality, and he's not shy about taking risks to get there. His big thing? Setting audacious goals. Think about it, most people are happy with a steady job and maybe a promotion every now and then. But Musk? He's out here launching rockets into space, building electric cars, and boring tunnels under cities. It's like he doesn't even know what small goals means. What makes Musk's story even more interesting is how he deals with setbacks. When his rockets exploded during test launches, he didn't just throw in the towel and say, well, guess that's it. No. He went back to the drawing board and figured out what went wrong. He didn't let failure stop him. Instead, he used it as a stepping stone to get closer to his massive goals. Another thing about Musk is that he's super hands-on. He doesn't just come up with ideas and leave them to other people to figure out. He's right there in the trenches, solving problems and pushing boundaries. And he's not afraid to get technical. His approach is all about first principles thinking, which means breaking down complex problems into their basic components and rebuilding from there. It's like taking something apart and putting it back together in a way that makes more sense. But here's the thing. Musk's goals aren't just about making money. He's got a bigger picture in mind. He wants to revolutionize transportation, colonize Mars, and even tackle climate change. It's not just about business. It's about changing the world. So what's the takeaway from Elon Musk's journey? If you want to achieve something great, you have to be willing to think big, like really big. Don't be afraid to set audacious goals, and when things don't go your way, learn from it and keep going. And most importantly, believe in your vision. Because if Elon Musk has taught us anything, it's that no goal is too big if you're willing to work for it. Let's talk about the lesson from Li Ka-shing: diversify your investments. Li Ka-shing is a self-made billionaire whose journey is full of surprises and smart moves. This guy is known for his sharp business instincts, but what really stands out is his ability to diversify. When you're talking about 10 powerful life lessons from billionaire icons, Li Ka-shing's story is a prime example of how spreading your investments can lead to incredible success. Imagine being able to predict which industries will take off and which ones will slow down. That's Li Ka-shing's superpower. He doesn't just stick to one industry, he has his hands in everything from real estate, to technology, to energy. He understands that if you put all your eggs in one basket, you're taking a huge risk. By spreading his investments, he's able to minimize the impact of any single market downturn. Here's something interesting about Li Ka-shing. He didn't come from money. In fact, he had to drop out of school to support his family. But he didn't let that stop him. He worked his way up through the business world, learning as much as he could along the way. It's this hunger for knowledge that helped him spot opportunities others missed. When Li Ka-shing looks at a new business venture, he doesn't just think about the immediate profit. He thinks about how it fits into the bigger picture. He looks for long-term potential. This is one of the most valuable takeaways from 10 powerful life lessons from billionaire icons. Diversifying is about playing the long game, not just chasing the next big thing. Another thing that makes Li Ka-shing's approach so unique is that he's not afraid to take risks, but he does it with a calculated mindset. He doesn't jump into a new investment without doing his homework. He studies the market, analyzes trends, and makes sure he's got a solid understanding of what he's getting into. This careful planning has been key to his success. So if you're thinking about investing, remember Li Ka-shing's advice. Don't put all your money in one place. Explore different industries, do your research, and always have a backup plan. It might just be the smartest way to follow the lessons from billionaire icons like Li Ka-shing. This approach can keep you steady, even when the market is anything but predictable. Let's talk about Mary Barra. Lead through change. When you think of the auto industry, you might picture assembly lines and cars zooming down highways. But the industry is changing, like big time. It's not just about gasoline engines anymore. We're talking electric cars, self-driving technology, and a whole lot of innovation. Mary Barra is leading the charge through all this change, and she's doing it with style. Mary Barra started at General Motors as a co-op student, so yeah, she's been there a while. But what's impressive is how she worked her way up from those early days to become the first female CEO of a major global automaker. Talk about shattering glass ceilings. When she took over, GM was dealing with some serious issues. There was a big recall and safety concerns, which is a nightmare for any car company. But Barra didn't shy away from the challenges. Instead, she faced them head-on. One of the coolest things about Barra is her focus on electric and autonomous vehicles. She's not just following trends, she's shaping them. She knows that the future of transportation is electric, and she's all about leading the way. Under her leadership, GM has committed to becoming carbon neutral and aims to have a whole lineup of electric vehicles by 2035. That's huge. But Barra's leadership isn't just about technology. She's also about people. She's known for fostering a culture of teamwork and collaboration. When the pandemic hit, GM quickly shifted gears, pun intended, and started making ventilators to help with the healthcare crisis. That kind of adaptability and community-mindedness starts at the top, and Barra's leadership style plays a big role in it. If you're looking for takeaways from Mary Barra's journey, here's what you can learn. Be adaptable, embrace change, and think about the bigger picture. In other words, don't be afraid to shake things up, especially if it means making the world a better place. And always remember, it's not just about technology or the bottom line. It's about people and the impact you can make. So if you want to lead through change like Mary Barra, keep an open mind, stay curious, and be ready to pivot when the road ahead takes an unexpected turn. It's not just about driving forward, it's about steering in the right direction. Now let's talk about the lesson from Michael Bloomberg. Leverage data-driven decisions. A billionaire who's made a name for himself by using data to make some really smart decisions. You might know him from Bloomberg LP, the financial media company that he founded, but he's done a lot more than that. Bloomberg is a big believer in using data to guide his choices, and that's something we can all learn from, whether we're running a business or just trying to figure out what to eat for dinner. One of the first things that sets Bloomberg apart is his commitment to accuracy. When he started Bloomberg LP, the idea was to give financial professionals access to the most reliable data out there. He knew that when people have solid information, they make better choices. It's like when you're comparing products online, you want to read real reviews and check out the specs before you hit add to cart, right? Bloomberg took that idea and ran with it, creating a platform that's now a go-to resource for the financial world. But here's the thing, he doesn't just rely on data in business. He took his data-driven approach to public service, serving as the mayor of New York City for 3 terms. During his time in office, he used data to tackle some pretty big issues like public health and environmental sustainability. For example, he implemented policies to reduce smoking rates and improve air quality, all based on the numbers. It wasn't about guessing or hoping for the best. It was about using facts to drive change. And when he left office, Bloomberg didn't stop there. He's been a major philanthropist, using his resources to support causes like climate change and public health. The key here is that he applies the same data-driven mindset to philanthropy as he does to business. He wants to make sure his contributions have a real impact, and that means tracking results and adjusting strategies as needed. So, what can we learn from Michael Bloomberg? It's simple. Use data to make informed decisions. Whether you're in business, government, or just trying to improve your personal life, having solid information can make all the difference. And don't be afraid to adapt when the numbers tell you it's time for a change. All right, let's talk about the lesson by J.K. Rowling. Unleash your creativity. The author of the Harry Potter series. You know the story about a boy who discovers he's a wizard and goes on all sorts of magical adventures. But before Rowling was a billionaire author, she faced some serious challenges. Imagine being a single mom with barely enough money to get by, working random jobs, and trying to find time to write. That's where J.K. Rowling started. She had this idea for a book about a young wizard, but she faced rejection after rejection from publishers. A lot of people would have given up, but not her. She kept at it, writing in cafes while her baby slept. That's determination. When she finally got a publisher to say yes, Rowling's life changed. But it wasn't just because she wrote a popular book. It was because she created a whole world that people could dive into. Her characters felt real, her stories were captivating, and her imagination was off the charts. It was like she gave us all a ticket to Hogwarts, and we didn't want to leave. Rowling's creativity didn't just stop at the books. She had a hand in the movies, the theme parks, and even the stage play. She built a whole empire from one simple idea. But what's interesting is that she didn't just keep all that success to herself. She's given back in big ways through her charity work, helping children and families in need. The big takeaway from Rowling's story is that creativity can come from anywhere, and you don't need fancy equipment or a big budget to start. Sometimes all it takes is a notebook, a pen, and a spark of imagination. And when things get tough, that's when you have to dig deep and keep going. If Rowling had stopped when the publishers said no, we wouldn't have Harry, Hermione, and Ron in our lives. So if you have a creative idea, go for it. Write that book, paint that picture, or start that business. Don't be afraid to take risks and put yourself out there. You never know where it might lead. And remember, if J.K. Rowling can go from living on welfare to becoming a billionaire author, then there's no limit to what you can do with a little creativity and a lot of perseverance. All right, that wraps up our journey through the lives and lessons of these amazing billionaires. We've covered some serious ground, diving into the stories of these incredibly successful individuals. Remember, the key takeaways from our video, 10 powerful life lessons from billionaire icons, aren't just for the super wealthy. They're for all of us. So keep these lessons close to heart as you navigate your own path to success. Now, if you found this video helpful, I highly recommend watching my next video, which is the perfect complement to this one. Thank you for joining us today, and don't forget like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement is like applause for our efforts, and it motivates us to bring even more valuable content your way. So feel free to drop a comment below. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in my next video.